quarantine crush, यार, I mean, हमारे time में तो ऐसा कोई concept नहीं था. But something I could relate to in this was the concept of the chat romance. आजकल, I mean, I'm sure Tahira can resonate with me because I really don't see these chat romances happening in our time.
हमारे टाइम पे कोरोना वायरस भी तो नहीं था यार.
So true. Yeah. So ये कुछ अपने पास से, you know, because they always say a writer, a director always draws something from their past. तो आपका तो मुझे पता है रोमांस और क्रश तो आपकी ट्यूटोरियल में हुआ था. छत से क्या कनेक्शन है?
देखो, सबके घरों में छतें होती हैं, छतों पे लोग होते हैं, लोग पे नेबर होते हैं, छतें टापे जाती हैं, गिटार बजाए जाते हैं. तो ये सब होता है. So this is a very it's a beautiful sweet film which is based on a small town, and it's like a small town romance happening across the gate, across the neighbors, across the chat and all of that. It's something that we romanticize, but it's also a reality. But of course you push it, you take that liberty, cinematic liberty, and just add more nuances to it and add songs to it and give it that sort of a feel. The script is beautifully written by Ghazal, and that's what appealed to me, that it's so simple, and at times just simplicity touches your heart. And that was the intention. Yaar, innocent characters humne create karne, and these two have done a very good job. I don't know if you watched the film, but they're a pleasure to work with, and they really portrayed the characters really well. So yeah.
And I watched it, and what I liked was the innocence, because हमारे time पे तो यार crush जब होता था तो पूरे either school को पता चल जाता था, all new friends के तरह notes and all, we could not say it, but I liked it. What was it that you enjoyed about your characters? Maninder, I was getting confused between his mother and him, and yours.
Hi, first of all.
Hi.
Thank you for having us here. I really enjoyed playing my character. It was a challenge for me because this is the first time I was playing a guy in a turban, and so I took that as a challenge, and I hope I did justice to the character. So it was really fun, and I also had this in mind ki, you know, I won't let the value of turban go down. I mean, I really wanted to make the best out of it, and we really got good briefing for the show. We really did some good workshops. We had like 2-3 days of workshops and rehearsals with ma'am. And yeah, like when we were on set, it was like a family. We didn't feel that we are shooting. It just felt like we are making a school or a university project. We were all so together in this with one vision in mind, just to make this show lovable and likable to everyone, and just do our jobs truthfully. I guess, yeah, I love playing the character of Maninder. And
yeah. And what about you, young lady? What about you? I mean, can you resign yourself कि छत पे ऐसा कभी हुआ है, मौका आया है that कोई?
I love the idea how COVID is then this real scenario, and then this chatka thing is happening, because like usually also I'm imagining this chatka story is there, like someone somewhere today also is going up to the chat to meet somebody or look at somebody, but the fact that COVID is making it नहीं होता है,
ज़्यादा नहीं होता है.
Very rare to find a neighbor like this.
बहुत pollution है.
So I'm saying the fact that even like the COVID restriction is bringing this back is very cute. Like I read it and I was like, hi, the story is so cute. Like it's something that it can happen to me. Like I feel if I was in that kind of situation, it would probably happen. And I enjoyed playing Nimmi so much because I went back to the time when we would drop thoda hints that, you know, I'm doing this according to me, matlab I like you, but they don't see it as a sign because everyone has their different love language, different ways of perceiving a sign. And I would realize that Nimmi and Maninder's graphs are different. Like Maninder had gone off way ahead and Nimmi is still getting there, like we're becoming best friends and everything. I really enjoyed playing that. It took me back to like my school when really small things make you happy, like them just smiling at you. It makes your day. Like it's just like you have made my day just by smiling at me. There's so many small things to explore in it, and it just gave me so much happiness every day. It's very beautiful to do.
And you know, Tahira, there were some aspects which reminded me of your book also, especially Maninder's father's profession. you know, the brassiere thing. You have to read Tahira's book and you'll understand in what context I'm saying it.
That was an addition that was not there in the script.
I've read the book after we shot. After we were done shooting, I've read the book and I was like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, so
I've noticed that.
Two of my obsessions I have put it.
हाँ, एक तो आपने एक obsession तो डाली, दूसरी कौन सी थी यार?
कौन सी?
एक obsession तो डाल दिया आपने brassiere वाली, दूसरी क्या थी?
दूसरी भी और भी आएंगी ना चीजें, अभी और भी कंटेंट आएगा तो फिर इसमें भी.
So what were you saying? Yeah, tell me.
Who, me?
So intentionally you made Ghazal add that aspect.
Oh yeah, so you know the father का ये track था नहीं, so and so this was my suggestion that you know let's have him run a bra sort of a shop, and it took me back to my time in Chandigarh, and there was this fancy fancy bra shop. So we used to, you know, all of us used to go buy bras, and it was the first of its kind to get padded and all of that. So this phenomena wasn't there before. So in my head, Manendra's dad was doing just that. He was the person, a religious, very nice person, but he takes his profession very, very seriously. And I'm so glad the dialogues that she added actually added to his character, where he's teaching ABCD of bra to his son. Yeah, it was a small nuance, but I am so glad it got noticed, and yeah.
But how would you say, I'll come to the two youngsters also, how do you say the definition of ishq has changed? Yeah, because I feel this generation is actually a little more sensible than our time, you know, because हम लोगों के time में तो we used to wear our heart on our sleeve. इनका तो heart आजकल इनके DMs में होता है और इनके social media profiles पे होता है.
Of course, the definition of love, sorry. It has changed. Earlier it was, you know, more, I mean, for me, I'll tell you, like from I don't know how it was for my mother or for my father. For me, it was, when I was in my school, it was very immature for me, and love was immature. It was just a love at first sight. यार उसने मुझे देख लिया बस एक बार मुड़ के देख ले बस, मतलब ऐसा होता था. Now it's more of, you know, respect towards each other, and to give each other time and responsibility. So, of course, the definition of love has changed for me in person, because I feel if you give time in a relationship, then you can. I mean, time is the time is the factor. You can.
Yeah, he means to say if you give time to each other, then the bond just grows stronger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
ये कौन सी कुंजी पढ़ के आए हैं यार ताहिरा, 10 जनरेशन?
पता नहीं, मुझे भी नहीं पता कौन सा टाइम, कौन सा कमिटमेंट इतनी जल्दी. No. So I think that he is a very dedicated person. I have seen him very dedicated to his art, to his craft, and I can totally imagine him being a dedicated person in his relationship. Probably he's speaking from that experience. When it comes to the definition of love, I think love will remain the same, and is and will always remain the same. It's something that connects two people, and that has been from times immemorial. We all have had connections, and then I just feel that the definition of love has just changed, because now we're not obsessed with a heterosexual sort of a love, or love only compatible between two 18-year-olds. So two 50-year-olds also can't fall in love. So you know, that way, I would not say the definition has changed. We have understood the true meaning of love now, which is not, you know, bound by gender and age and so many specificities and with prototypes that we have created. That ways, I think we have evolved and we have truly understood what love is now.
What about you, Kajol?
I think in a way we've started really talking about it, and that helps so much, because I hear stories about my parents and how their love started, and maybe a relative and maybe a friend, and everyone started like openly talking about it, which I feel like before, when parents would, you know, put up a perfect world in front of their kid, then that's all they would get. They wouldn't really communicate completely. Like, I don't think my parents know so much about my grandparents' love story than I know, because I'm like, kya hua? Uske baad kya hua? Tell me more. And I feel like we know their story, our story. We're so much more aware of, you know, all the things that can go wrong, what all we must avoid, what all we are looking for. And also, I feel like this pressure of looking for everything in one person is so much more lesser, because then you have a relationship with your friends, you have a relationship with your family. There's love in each of that. You don't need all of it just from one person. I feel like that pressure has come down. I feel like that's the only difference. Otherwise, love is as pure and as by chance and magical as before. I feel like it's the same. We're more aware of it now.
Tahira, what would you want to tell your 18-year-old self now listening to these people?
यार ये तो बड़े sorted लोग हैं यार. I was running all over the place. I had no clue. I don't think I had clue like 5 years back, and I think this is what I'm going to say 5 years after that. I don't think I would what I was talking. I'm not so sure about how these kids are. They're all very sure about everything. I think I was very confused, which I have been for most part of my life. Very honestly speaking, I really appreciate and I'm actually in awe of people who have their things very charted out and they know. For me, very honestly, without pretending, the lines are very blurry and I'm confused for most part. So even if I'm in love, I would question, am I in love? Oh, usne propose kiya. What does I love you mean? So honestly speaking, when my partner asked me out for about 10 days, I was not sure that I ever said yes and are we in a relationship already. I was questioning my friends, ye bola doesn't mean I'm going out. Like I didn't even know that. So I was very confused. And so the issues have changed, but the confusion just remains the same. So yeah.
Imagine what if your gay romance, your tutorial romance had happened in the time of social media? तब क्या करते आप?
कुछ भी ना
आप तो वो आंटी अपनी नेबर को अवॉइड कर रहे थे.
कोई चार्ज भी नहीं लेता. बड़ी बेकार लव स्टोरी होती है. Yeah.
But Mihir and Kajol, both of you, I mean, they say that this generation, they call the Gen Zs far more romantic and more sorted than say Tahira and my generation was, because हमारा तो था ये है तो नहीं है. What do you think has changed how come your generation is so worldly wise in comparison to us?
Basically, Pooja is envious. She wants to know why you guys so sorted. What is it?
हाँ यार.
Sorted यार.
हमारी तो दाल ही नहीं गली यार. मेरी तो दाल ही नहीं गली अभी तक.
I think
it's your generation.
अभी that's because you've been cynical ना कि छत पे कुछ होता नहीं है. अभी जाओ तो कुछ होगा ना. You go to your छत, दाल गलेगी.
यार आपको मेरे को पता नहीं छत पे कौन दिखेगा.
आप chance तो दो. Our chances are open. Instagram DM, any dating app, anything. Our chances are open. Like we are waiting कि आ जाए. कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा.
Dating apps and also, I also feel nowadays because of these apps and also they're finding love on these avenues and they sort of hit and miss people in reality. Physically, you'll be in the same class, but probably you will miss out on each other because you would rather use a dating app to hook up with people. So change.
But I feel like it's also changed it from just being our geographical area or people that we know. It's gone on to like so many bigger social circles now. You don't have to like know that person's mutual friend or anything. Yeah. So you have like, we are spoiled for choice. We have another issue. We are in the other extreme of these. We are spoiled with choice now.
देखो इनको छत पे बहुत नजारे दिखते हैं. हमारे टाइम में नहीं दिखते थे. कम ऑन यार मेरे को हो गया. मेरा आप बता.
Of course, social media has made it much easier nowadays. So जब मम्मी मुझे बताती है, पापा बताते हैं अपनी love story के बारे में, they used to write so many love letters to each other. और वो गोल रिंग वाली फोन होती थी, मिलाने में घंटे लगते थे लोगों को. So my dad used to tell me कि फोन कितने बार फंस जाता था, कॉल करते थे घर में छुपकर मम्मी को, and फोन फंस जाता था, फोन बार मिलाना पड़ता था. So that was tricky. And nowadays it's so easy, like you just pick up your phone and you just text someone. So social media has made it easier to connect to people. But yeah, earlier it was much mature in a way, and you had that. I like the way my mother and my father used to live love at that time.
I was just going to say that. We have it easier, but now it's losing its worth. Like, texting all the time, being so accessible. Otherwise, wait for one full letter, write and see that they've written on this date. Abhi main reply karungi 10 din ke baad. I was like, that distance actually makes you grow fonder, I think.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
Pooja, what do they think? Hello, what do you mean letter and all, bro? We had landline phones.
And how did we block people? We bang the receiver down. That's how we block people. We bang the receiver down.
Whatever I write, whenever I script or something, by virtue of habit, I always say, and she banged the phone down. Till the time one person said, I mean, all your scripts bang down. होता नहीं है आजकल bang down. So actually used to that no in my head. But yeah, you're right.
Okay, now guys, tell
But there's
me
some
how
other
tough.
fun in it.
True.
Sorry.
I
I
want
was
to know
saying
how
there's
tough
another
was
fun
she
in
as
it.
a direct. How tough was she as a director? Is she easy? अभी बताओ, खुलासा करो.
बताओ.
There's like some parent-teacher meeting abhi.
आपको छुरी ना ये भी एक न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई वर्चुअली पहुंच जाता है यहाँ से मारूंगा वो पहुंच जाएगा
Tahira ma'am was so fun to work with. I think for me, she became like an elder sister. She was like, Kajol, no, I think you should color your hair. You should do this. You should do that. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, look at my hair. It's looking pretty. When you'll get into it, it'll give you a change of perspective and everything. In that moment, when we were deciding Nimi's look, she felt like my elder sister because I've learned makeup and everything from her. And she sort of set my worldview. And when I reached her, I was like, Tahira ma'am is like my sister. Like the way she's talking about all of these things and influencing me. I was like, oh my God, we've established that relation. But on set, I feel like she was very calm, chill, but she would also give us like space. Like, you want to add this, you want to do this, you want to try it, we'll see how it goes. But can we do it my way? And then we do it her way also. And then we'd find like a perfect mix of it. I feel like she gave us like the right amount of freedom. Like, she was just too fun to work with.
Tahira, was Nimi anything like you? Because even I saw the curls also.
So in my head, I was very sure. I don't know. So she has focus trait here, as even no amount of curling. And it's a short film, so you don't have regular touch-ups and you can't have her sitting for 2 hours of all that. I knew we had to cover a lot in just about a 3-day shoot. So everything was failing. Kuch bhi curl karo and it was just falling flat. And in my head, I was so sure I wanted that frizz. The only reason was because I saw her jumping and grooving to the song like she does. And I always saw some sun falling through her hair. This was something it stuck in my head. And so then we had to, and plus she has jet black hair. So even if you color it, even if you put curls, light will not shine through it. So
like
then we colored her hair, we trimmed her hair, we gave her layers, we did all of that. And her hair used to be set a night before. And then the next week we would open it up. And that's how we achieved her look. With Mihir, I really, I like him more with the turban. I think it suits him so well.
I agree.
People told me that they didn't even know that he was not a Sardar. And so he carried it off really, really well. And when he talks about the respect for the turban, it totally comes across because he was very, so we had the person who used to tie the turban around and every whatever the pleat, he would just keep checking with that guy, theek hai ki theek hai nahi. And small details like, all the Sardars have this silai, which they stick it behind always. So small things, we made sure that we carry all of that and both of them were carrying their looks well, hopefully. And I was also sure that she's going to have braces. So कर दिया फिर ये सब कुछ हमने उसके साथ.
Wow. मिहिर, आप बताओ, दोनों में से हिटलर कौन था वैसे सेट पे?
Sorry?
I said, I mean, you are the guy, a woman director, and then you have your co-star. हिटलर कौन था सबसे बड़ा, सबसे दर्द किससे ज्यादा लगा? जल्दी बता दो.
किसी से डर नहीं लगा, being very honest. So to work with Tahira ma'am was always in my bucket list, as I've said in my previous interviews. So I came to Mumbai in the year 2017, and I watched this film Toffee, which was written and directed by Tahira ma'am in this short film festival, Bolti Khidkiyan, which was organized by Mukesh Chhabra and Magic If Films. I saw that film, and that very day I decided that I want to work with her. I really want to work with her once in life. Because that's such a beautiful, lovely film and very well written. So, and yeah, I got to work with her. And she was very, very calm on set, very calm and composed person. But also she's very cool on set. She gives time to actors. She gives time to improvise. And we did have rehearsals. So it was very fun shooting with her. And it was we didn't have any stress. I don't think so. Kajol, I don't know. Because
But Tahira, tell me, you've directed films, you've written your books now, also the kind of narratives. How do you pick and choose what you want to direct? Because I remember when we last spoke, you wanted to work basically on, also empower girls and, show them that work on basically female and girl empowerment for the girl child? What are the kind of narratives you're looking for actually to put yourself out there?
Exactly that, man. I don't think anything has changed from that. That's the basic premise of my sort of writing or picking up stories or filmmaking or storytelling. And there's so many stories around women, and even if it's not, even if it's a character, I mean to say, I'm not stuck on just writing films which only has women characters. I'm saying men bring a lot too, and I look at a world where there is equality rather than saying that women are better. I'm really vouching and rooting for a platform where both the talents come across and justice is done to their personalities and to the kind of stories that these genders bring forth. So even if you take a simple story like Quaranteen Crush and you have Maninder and his love story around him, I don't think you would miss the stalking angle. So which is why I did the story. So had it not had a message or something where I can add value in a fun way, my idea has always been that I want to say a lot in the most subliminal sort of way, but add some sort of engagement and happiness and create a happy world. That's the kind of world which is always there in my head, and that's the kind of world I want to create. And so even when Maninder in all his innocence sort of looks at her, and a lot of boys still do and used to do, and so you have through your mobile, you're zooming in the lenses, or you're just checking from your window, and it looks very simple, and there is no malice in the heart. But by the end of it, you're stalking a person without the person knowing, and that's something which is wrong. And that's what the girl's reaction was. And having said that, she too enjoyed his presence. So the way the film ends is sort of an open-ended, and she sort of tells them, in a simple and a sweet way, that stalking is really not cool, but you need to earn this friendship. So yeah, I think यही करना है यार पूजा मुझे ऐसी चीज
अच्छा है but वही I was coming to the open end. I said the same thing to Rohit Saraf also. These open ends mess people like me, who need a proper end. ये हुआ ये नहीं हुआ. So I want to know, did Maninder get his 85%?
Yeah, Maninder did get his 85%. You got your 85%.
Did you study English?
For me, actually, the story was more about the moments lived together and just creating the story out there rather than it reaching its consequences. And why are we so anal about consequences? I mean, you see, even if they get together, they're so young, they might fall in love with somebody else. Or they might just realize, oh, that was just infatuation and we're not meant for each other. So I think that is not as consequential as the moments that they spent together, the innocent world that they tried to create. I think the love story for me had a beginning, middle, and end at the gate and at the rooftop. So yeah.
Absolutely. Mihir and Kajol, who's been your quarantine crush वैसे? बता दो यार, इसके थ्रू हम बता देंगे सबको.
So lockdown, I go back to my hometown, which is Jamshedpur.
वहाँ पर है आपका quarantine crush?
No, but I'll be very honest. When after shooting this film, when I went back to my hometown, I was just roaming around in my terrace. I noticed my neighbors for the first time. तेरे यहाँ ये भी रहते हैं, यहाँ वो भी रहते हैं.
रहते हैं क्या रहती है?
रहती है. I mean रहते काफी लोग थे. तो मैंने explore किया काफी लोगों को. Oh my God, there's so many people around me. So I kind of relate to the film and the concept very much, and I started learning guitar because I heard that girls love guitarists.
Wow! So next we have our new Shah Rukh Khan, yeah, Tahira. Now there will be somebody watching Mihir on screen.
You never know.
The guitar and Shah Rukh Khan also has a significance in Tahira's love story. I would suggest you please go back to her book and you'll know the.
This is a beautiful anecdote from a book.
So Kajol, आप बताओ आपका quarantine crush कौन है? Whom you suddenly realize exists.
Hi, my parents are going to watch this. So I'm just going on thinking about that. No, but I spent a lot of time actually connecting with a lot of my friends that aren't in Bangalore, because now video calls became a thing and just calling people all the time was just a thing now. So I became really good friends with two of my friends in Delhi and one in Bombay only through video calls. Like before this, we weren't actually like really good friends, I would say that. But ऐसे crush तो नहीं हुआ. Whatever I've put in full in my show only. I've just put out in my acting. I was like, this is my experience.
अरे
Why
यार,
are you asking me this question? Why can't I have a crush? Please tell me.
वो आपसे पूछने वाली थी. आपका quarantine crush है ना मेरे.
You
I
were
have
not
discovered many. I have discovered many.
Tell me
Also,
yours first. Tell me yours.
mine are all these Korean actors, yeah, which are who are all 20, but I'm learning Korean for them because I know they don't come wearing subtitles.
I tried to watch one Korean series. It's called Crash Landing on You.
अरे वो हाँ, it's nice, but I will give you more recommendations, yeah.
No, I'll tell you. So I'm just tripping on something. It's a series called Euphoria. So there is this guy, and his name
Jacob.
is Nate.
Nate, yeah.
Oh shit.
Jacob Elordi, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He's so hot. Yeah.
I'm waiting for my
Booth guy. He was also in the kissing
He's
booth.
the same guy in Kissing Booth. Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
He's very
The
cute.
tall guy.
Very hot.
Okay, let me shift.
He's
focus
dating,
now.
guys. He's dating.
देखो यार, मैंने बता दिया ना मेरा
Not
क्वारंटीन क्रश. मैं तो भाषा भी सीख रही हूँ यार.
Very good. Very good.
यार लव के लिए कुछ भी करेगा, as they say.
That's
Anyway,
what I wanted
thank you
to say.
guys.
That, you
Pardon?
know, that's what I was about to say, that loves give you motivation. I mean, love always gives you motivation. I'm learning guitar, you're learning Korean. So
I'm learning how to grow taller for Jacob.
I'm so tall.
Tahira ma'am, he's dated only short girls. It's okay.
Oh. But I'm fighting.
I'm doing research on people.
I don't think he'll fall for me now.
ऐसा मत बोलो यार.
No,
Everything is possible.
He only said short girls. Na, so I'm 5'8.5". What to do?
Tahira ma'am, it's okay. We leave it open-ended now. You don't have to tell anybody whether he likes you back. It's open-ended.
I like that. So we can have Quarantine Crush Part 2.
You never know.
Exactly. Looking forward to that. Thank you all. And really wonderful. And you know what I've liked? I'm liking the fact that we have our own Indian homegrown stories, because again, Tahira and my generation grew up watching the American and the British love stories. अपनी love stories हमें नहीं दिखती थी. वो सिर्फ फिल्मों में दो फूल, and you know we were like,
Fool के साथ.
That's a very good one, Pooja. That's so true what you said right now. It's very cool what you said right now. We're having our own homegrown love stories. Earlier on, it was just inspiration, just looking at other people behave and act aloof from our own culture. Matlab, the word.
All our dating ideas also come from the Western world.
Yeah.
Even the way we look at school, like we look at their competitions, their prom night and all of that. There's so much content on that compared to like our own culture.
हमारी farewell parties होती थी. That was a prom night. Our farewell parties. Luckily, everybody is wearing suits because you can't wear anything else. It's rubbish.
And you remember, we used to have dance parties where everybody used to get chips and cola from home and one tiny disco light. But यहाँ तो ये लोग तो भैया ahead हैं. Graduation भी होता है इनका, जो concept नहीं था हमारे यहाँ. Yeah, but both you guys, I mean, are you happy seeing your own stories now being showcased for everybody?
I'm very happy personally. I mean, I always wanted to become an actor, and such a good story to portray. What better than the story to, you know, I mean, these are my very first promotions, and I'm loving the ishq around us. This feels like ishq. Yeah, I mean, I hope people would like the story and the songs and our characters, and they would just fall in love with our characters and actors.
Kajol, batao.
I'm so happy that Tahira ma'am and Gaza ma'am have actually written a character that has braces. Like they came through and they were like, no, this person will have braces. Because I had braces for 1.5 years in school, and you don't feel like the most prettiest person at all for even 1 minute. You only wait for that day when you remove it. Uske baad bhi retainers lagta hai. And everyone, so far whoever I've spoken to has told me I look very cute with braces. The thing is, I'm looking cute with braces because my teeth are aligned. When you actually put braces for the real reason, you don't look all that cute. And the fact that I can see an episode where a boy is just falling in love, like giving his all to a person that just a small feature of having braces, it just makes me feel seen. I wish I had something like that to watch in school, because I spent 1.5 years just waiting for that day when it'll come out. And then I feel like Netflix has other shows where they're making the tall girl the lead. Like, they show you how people do fall in love with the tallest girl in class. And then they're talking about a very dorky girl and all of that. It's all coming into perspective. And I'm so glad Tahira ma'am did this project and picked it up and made sure I have braces, because it takes me back to my little self. Like, it has helped me a lot.
True. I mean,
I'm
more
so
power
glad we
to
get to
people
see
like her. Yeah. Thank you so much, the three of you. Yeah.
So sweet.
Thank
Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
sweet. Thanks.
Thanks. Take care. Bye. All the very best. Bye
See
bye.
you.
Bye.